If you are one of the seven swordsmen in Naruto, your ninja tools are basically for decoration, so if even worse, you're like Tenten and rely on them, you're trash. Throw them away, bury them, hang them up. Anything is more useful than combat with them. And I would say Asuma is the exception, but I don't really want to have to bring up what happened to him. Also, the wire Sasuke used early on, wire Sasuke as I like to call him, was probably the most useful thing for a while, and Kakashi was like the only one to really fight with his kunai longer than 2 seconds before activating his Sharingan. And the only other exception is Madara, but honestly, he didn't need that Uchiha fan, the gunbai. Hopefully, I said that right. At all, really. And it's more of a shield when you think about it. And also, being a mace with the chain is cool. But shurikens and shit? Might as well use the old pocket sand or spare change you got or start praying because it's probably just as effective. Of course, I'm exaggerating, I guess. But in this video, we'll be going through the chance, or really just the plot they could have had used to expand more on ninja tools, especially the legendary weapons and Uchiha Gunbai fans, and also why Boruto's advancement in it felt rushed, and just how their ideas for ninja tools are even more garbage in Boruto. And to put it simply, if the underuse and advancement of ninja tools in Naruto is about dumpster fire level, then Boruto cranks it up to about landfill. First things first, ninja tools were something I feel a lot of people overlook. But as a kid, I feel like every Naruto fan wanted a Wind Demon Shuriken, and you can say you didn't, but I don't believe you. But for me, the Wind Demon Shuriken, Zabuza's sword, Haku's needles, and even just how many weapons we saw earlier in Naruto, even going towards Shippuden, like Asuma, who I mentioned earlier, and how he used his ninja weapons to the fullest with the chakra blades, that had me hyped to see other ones or different variations or techniques with them. But I was obviously super let down on that, hence the video. I know people aren't built like me and wanted more jutsus and flashy stuff, and don't get me wrong, I like that stuff for real. I grew up on shonen too, but just the more gritty ninja feeling of everyone having to incorporate base shurikens and kunai to higher level weaponry was something that early on I hoped for, but quickly realized Naruto wasn't really focused on that aspect. It's a damn shame, really, but glad at least we got Bleach for that. Anyways, one way I feel like they should have shown more weapons or more variations and actually made use of them is through the samurai, believe it or not. I think Mufune is still one of the cleanest and coldest characters in Naruto early on. He's like Sifu from Kung Fu Panda in human form, but the samurai armor design in Naruto is really what makes their whole people trash. It's an abomination. Old ass Gundam looking kind of shit, like what the fuck? Anyways, I know that sounds out of the blue, but in the world of Naruto, it could have been a cool way to make them less boring and honestly just make them actually seem like a potential threat and have that as something that could be explored later on, or just something to replace some of the waste of space filler we got in the anime, like ramen eating contests or whatever the fuck. My brain just tuned out most filler episodes. Now, before moving on into Boruto and the storyline hellscape that was, I just want to talk about the 7 legendary swordsmen. As we know, they all were pretty much from the Hidden Mist village, and I'm not sure how many people know this, but it's believed all 7 swords were made in the same village, believe it or not, with Samihara being made from a sentient shark, and Kupikiri Bocho, Zabuza's weapon, was made with a pretty unique blood-absorbing iron. And my problem with this is it doesn't make sense why the Mist Village were the only ones to try this. Like, why didn't more profitable villages like the Sand or Leaf try? Like, these villages still had pretty decent jutsus in various styles. The Leaf and Sand had the resources and maybe even more intelligent people. Like, for God's sake, Tobirama made half the jutsus that were important at the end of the story. And Minato made the Rasengan at like 18 years old. You're really trying to tell me they didn't have creative or slightly innovative blacksmiths, at least at the Hidden Leaf? Really, the only weapon of notable strength from the Leaf is Hashirama's longsword and his scroll assortment of weapons. He was pretty much just Tenten that actually could back it up because he had the chakra and other jutsus to have the arsenal of weapons to be cool. And we only see it for a brief moment. Apparently, after Hashirama passed, most of his weapons were given away, and after broken in battle or lost. And honestly, it doesn't sound like these weapons were all too powerful, because Hashirama just, with anything, he just makes it powerful. And they aren't anything like the Seven Swordsman's weapons, is what it sounds like. But my point with this is if people like Madara and Hashirama at the peak of their power still use custom made weapons, or at least coveted more powerful weapons, would it really make sense for that to be already pretty much gone from the Naruto present day? Thinking about the lack of heavy armor and that more defensive style makes sense to me in favor of a more silent and deadly approach, but for Shinobi to only be restricted to kunai and shuriken seems a bit silly. And I know they're ninja, but the only reason I can think of why this would be a problem in the Naruto verse is that apparently Sasuke is the only one to think of using a sheath for his sword. I literally have no idea if anyone had sheaths for their weapons other than Killer B. He was another one that had sheaths. I forgot about that. Honestly, I don't know if the amount of sheaths adds up to the blades, but I was never good at math. Anyways, now that I've went through the Seven Swordsmen and all related characters, let's get to the it can't get any worse, but it does part of the video, and that's Boruto and its handling of ninja tools. Honestly, the fact they focus more on technological advancement in Boruto isn't really a surprise. Of course, I don't want anyone mad at me about that, but the fact they actually spend extended periods of time showing ninja tool advancement and showing it in practice both inside the village during training and outside the village in a few serious conflicts. Naruto getting upset at Boruto for using a scientific ninja tool during the Chunin exam was a mixed bag for me. Because yeah, it's against the rules, but like at the same time, thinking about how the Chunin exams were run in Naruto's childhood, I'm not sure anyone would have gone in to stop them. Maybe in the official battles, maybe, but in Naruto's day, the Chunin exams, everyone just sort of just watched what happened, and if they tapped out, they tapped out. But really my problem with it is then afterwards, further down the line, they allowed Denki to bring a whole ass mech suit to the exams and no one gave a fuck. So it just felt like that was a whole waste of time. And that's when giving a shit about scientific ninja tools went out the window. But while on the topic of scientific ninja tools, advancements in Boruto should have started with much more simpler stuff, such as a glove that allows you to add a different chakra nature to your already created jutsu if applicable. So like when Naruto trained for the Winrasen Shuriken, that could have helped him see what he was looking for, or a kunai with pre-infused chakra blades you charge in between battles. It just seems more realistic as well, because sure, it's cool to have chakra lightsabers and shit, but isn't the most vital thing for Shinobi their chakra control and speed and power in battle? It would have been cooler to see easier to use ones with more of a versatile use. After Boruto though, the whole Denki mech suit, I just realized it's more for just shock value in ninja tools in Boruto than how it could actually affect the Shinobi world and practicality, instead of, going into the whole benefits and consequences in real time and stuff like that, if nothing else. But that'll do it for the video. I had some more Boruto stuff to rant about from early on, but I'll save that for later when, I can make a more focused video on Boruto and I can try and get the production level up. So yeah, if you liked what you heard, please leave a like on the video. I can't talk. Please leave a like on the video. I've been Nimbus. Hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Peace.